If you play paddle and you are struggling with elbow pain, then I'm going to help you fix that. By the end of this video, I'm going to give you my full 6-step system that is going to get you out of pain, teach you how to stretch what's tight, how to strengthen what's weak, and have you moving better on court than you ever have before. So with my 6-step system to fixing your elbow pain, I'm going to teach you how to release some of the soft tissues around the joint that's causing you problems. I'm going to teach you how to stretch those muscles that are tight. We're going to look at the very important nerve supply that runs through there. We're going to strengthen the muscles that are weak, and this is critical for the long-term success. So make sure you stick around to that point in the video. We're also going to look at the whole integration into a full approach. The problem is not just a localized problem. We'll be looking at the function of your rib cage, of your shoulder blades, and of your shoulder as a whole. And this will enable you to be able to move much better on court. And then the final part will be stability of your whole system. This is going to give you the edge when you are playing against your friends and playing against your competitors. And it'll also ensure that this problem doesn't come back again. Okay, back to the good stuff. So step 1, we are looking to release some of the soft tissue that's causing you problems. So you are going to take a couple of fingers, and your muscles and tendons run up this way. They cross over the elbow joint and they attach in around here. So we're going to start above the elbow joint. You're going to get 2 or 3 fingers, and because the muscles run this way, we're going to run the opposite direction. We're going to do some deep friction massage. Now you can start off really light, especially if it's really tender, and all I want you to do is spend 1 to 2 minutes just moving backwards and forwards over that point. As things start to relax a little bit, you can perhaps go a little bit deeper. Now just 1 to 2 minutes is absolutely fine, and you can do that a couple of times a day. Just quickly, could you hit that subscribe button? It really helps the channel grow and allow me to produce more content just like this. If you'd also like a PDF of this full program, just so it's easy for you to follow, then after you hit that subscribe button, just comment below with the word paddle and I'll have that sent over to you. Now there are other tools that you could use for this process, like massage balls, etc. But to be honest with you, your own fingers will do just as good a job. Okay, so part 2 is our stretch portion of the 6-step system. Now, we could give you something really simple where we just close off the thumb, have the arm out in front, and just bend at the wrist. It's going to stretch all of those muscles on the top side of the arm that'll be really tight at the moment. You could hold that for 30 to 45 seconds and do a couple of times. Or we can have a little bit more fun where we take palm facing up, we take your other hand and you make a C shape and we place it over the wrist. Now from there, as we try to lock the elbow, I want you to try and rotate the pit of the elbow so it faces forward. At first this may be tender and you may only be able to get a small range of motion, but as things start to loosen and you start to move through this stretch, you'll eventually be able to lock that elbow and rotate to get a really nice stretch. The reason we use that other hand is just to create some pressure down to allow the wrist to be able to lock into that place for you. Again, we're going to look at spending 30, 45, even 60 seconds in that stretched position. And then from there, we can start to move through repetitions. We move through 10 to 15 repetitions in and out of that position that you've been able to get yourself to. Okay, next up we've got your nerve glide. So we're going to take your thumb, we're going to take it inside I'm going to make a fist around there. From there, we're going to bend at the wrist and we're going to turn outwards. With your shoulder, we're going to drop that down away from the ear, and then we should get a sensation that runs through here. From there, we take the head and we just tilt it towards there, and as you tilt your head towards there, that sensation will go away. That's our start position, and then from there, as we move our head this way, we're going to reverse this motion. So we're going to turn the hand and that arm and the shoulder out of that position. So as we move from here and we open out, and then we move back in. And this is super gentle, and we're looking at around 20 to 25 repetitions. In and out as one. And this just helps glide the nerve that runs down through there. Okay, next up is our strength portion of the 6-step system. So you're going to grab yourself a really light weight, a dumbbell, or something that you can find that you can just take a grip on. And we're going to start off with some isometrics. So what that is, we're going to be taking the dumbbell up as high as you can by extending at the wrist here. And you're just going to hold that position. And we're looking to be able to hold that position for around 30 seconds. From there, we can then start to move through some eccentrics, which is where you are controlling the movement of the weight as it goes down. And then you can assist to bring that back up again. As you get stronger with this, you can then start to move all the way up and all the way back down. And ultimately, we want to be really aiming to get towards 12 to 15 repetitions here before you start to increase that weight load. Now, over time, I would really like it if you can get really strong with this movement. So with that movement, we'd be looking at 2 to 3 sets, anywhere from 8 to 15 repetitions. Okay, so next up, we're going to be looking at the rotation. So we're going to be moving the weight upwards and outwards into what's called supination, and moving it downwards into what we call pronation. Again, we'll be looking at that 8 to 15 repetitions and 2 to 3 sets here. Last element with the strength portion of this system is just going to be a grip endurance. So this is where we're going to take the weight and we're going to take our hand, place it around there, and we're just going to be holding that weight. And we're looking for 30 to 60 seconds in this position. You can make it a little bit more difficult by just using a pinch grip so that you're not fully gripping. Or you can start to introduce things like kettlebell walks, where you're taking a kettlebell, holding it in the handle and walking with the kettlebell as though it's a suitcase. Okay, so now that we want to integrate this into our whole system, we need to move away from just thinking about the elbow joint and more into the system as a whole. So I'm going to get you to find some sort of stick, a broom, anything, and you're going to go palms facing up. You're going to tuck your elbows into your side. You're going to bring those elbows up so they're in line with your shoulders. And then you're just going to place them on a bench or some sort of surface. From there, you're just going to bring yourself slightly away. You're going to tuck your bum underneath, and you're going to keep this round position. From there, you're going to reach away whilst keeping your hands in the same position so that you'll feel a stretch underneath here and down what are your lats. When you can't get any further away from there, you're just going to press those elbows into the bench. You're going to hold that for about 10 seconds, and then you're going to ease off and relax. And as you take a deep breath out, you'll be able to sink a little bit lower. You're going to be able to repeat that 3 to 5 times, just trying to get a little bit further and a little bit more of a stretch through here. Next up, we're going to take that same pole. This time we're going to take your hands wider than your elbows. We're going to tuck those elbows in, and now we're just going to take your knees further away than before. And rather than being in the tucked rounded position, we're going to extend from there. And this time now, we're looking to take you down towards the floor. Once again, when you can't get any further, push into the bench with your elbows for 10 seconds. And then as you relax, you'll be able to drop deeper within there. Now what this is doing is it's opening up all of this space in your thoracic spine to be able to move through extension and to be able to move through rotation, so that now when you are playing, you'll actually be able to move through proper rotation in order to be able to generate the force to the ball. Okay, so now that we've created the space and the stretch, now we're going to strengthen those muscles that are on the backside of the shoulder. You're going to use either a rolled up towel or a yoga block that just takes the elbow a little bit away from the body, which is what we need in this case. You're going to again just grab yourself a light dumbbell or a light weight, and then from there we are just moving that straight up through what we call external rotation before controlling it back down again. And with this, I'd like you to move through 12 to 15 repetitions, 2 to 3 sets. Next up, we've got 3 exercises for the shoulder. You're going to grab yourself a really light pair of dumbbells or just make a fist. The 3 parts is going to be arms by your side, palms facing the ceiling, and you're going to raise straight up and down, 20 repetitions. You're then going to flip your hands over so your palms are facing the floor. Again, raising up to the ceiling 20 times before taking your arms straight out to the side and raising up to the ceiling 20 times. If you've made it all the way to the end of the video, then thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Now, if you've got any questions at all about anything that you've seen during the video, or any comments, if you've taken your time to do any of those exercises, how they feel, any concerns about them, any more information that you would like, then please just pop that in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to answer every single one of those questions that you have.